What's up, YouTube? Uh, Today we're going to be talking about practical mysticism again. I think this is episode 3, and we're going to focus on the golem and understanding what it means in mysticism. Why? Because, as I said before, we're discussing practical mysticism, but we're going to be focusing on the golem. So, I have a definition that's already from Wikipedia. So, golem, and we're just going to dive right into this. So, we're going to explore what the golem means. Why is it important? I'll open 2 new tabs because this one is going to be for uh, we need this. We need. Oh, that was just that one. Yes. Okay, so we can start with the definition first. I guess we do. Let's see what they say about the golem, because crowdsourcing is 100% the best way to explore. I said explore. You don't get you don't get the full picture. You don't get a lot of good information, but you get a lot of information, and somehow we can use that. Okay. Yes. And I think we may have looked at this before, but we're going to focus more on the golem and understanding. So, what is a golem? In terms of Jewish lore, folklore, whatever you would want to call it, I don't want to disrespect the Jewish religion or the Christian religion in terms of that, but it is called an animated anthropomorphic being in Jewish folklore, which is entirely created from inanimate matter, usually clay or mud. In the Psalms, the medieval writings, the word golem was used for an amorphous, unformed material. Okay, so that's what their definition of the golem was. And in certain cases, I mean, this other part of it matters too. The most famous golem narrative involves Judah Loel ben Bezalel, excuse my pronunciations, the late 16th century rabbi of Prague. Many tales differ on how the golem was brought to life and controlled. So, according to Momentum magazine, the golem might be a metaphor, but I think there has been a lot of accounts of the golem in a lot of different scripture, canon and non-canon, so apocrypha as well. Let's keep going. There's a good amount of information right here in terms of it on Wikipedia. The oldest golem stories date to the Talmud. Adam was created as a golem when his dust was kneaded into a shapeless husk like Adam. All golems are created from mud by those close to divinity, but no anthropogenic golem is fully human. Golems lack the ability to speak, right? So Sanhedrin 65b describes Rava creating a man. He sent a man to another rabbi. Rabbi Zerah spoke to him, but he did not answer. And Rabbi Zerah said, "You were created by the sages, return to dust," and then he turned to dust, right? And so the main focus is a book called the Sefer Yetzirah. I think we discussed that already. Yes, I am using Microsoft Edge because I don't want to use Firefox, so I don't really reveal stuff about my identity. Sefer Yetzirah. And that's going to be a book of focus, right? Because there have been a lot of revision or commentary on the book, and we're going to also have our own commentary and explore the book ourselves and see what we have. So I've read chapter 1, chapter 2, a little bit of chapter 3, and I've read the important parts I needed for certain aspects of mysticism. But let's see what we get here. So, during the Middle Ages, passages from the Sefer Yetzirah were studied as a means to create and animate a golem. Although there were little in the writings of Jewish mysticism that support this belief, it was believed that golems could be activated by ecstatic experience induced by the ritualistic use of the Hebrew alphabet, forming a Shem, any one of the names of God. And you know the names of God mean the Tetragrammaton, right? Let's see if they have it. It was Yahweh, El, Elohim, Shaddai. Don't know. I cannot pronounce these ones. And other epithets. And there's 7 names of God. I didn't know that. I've never looked at these other aspects in terms of God and creation. But I guess today is going to be discussion creation and the golem. But anyway, moving forward, back to what we were talking about. It's believed that golems can Shem, wherein Shem was written on a piece of paper and inserted into the mouth or forehead of the golem. So there's a good movie out similar to that called Golem film. The Golem. Yeah, it was a good depiction. I will say that. In times of trouble, they used the Golem because there were things going on there. But there was like a mishap where some people invaded and they started hurting the town. Her son also died, and so she made him into her son. It's a very complex thing, and it shows Kabbalistic mysticism and how it would be used and why it should be certain things should be forbidden because it just went out of control. But we're not even looking into that. We're looking into, as I said, trying to make a calf and something tangible in general. So back to what we were doing, the golem. Samuel of the Spears. They said so. These are people who are sourced to creating golems. The golem of Shem. So that's an important one. The oldest description of the creation of a golem by a historical figure is included in tradition connected to Rabbi Ella Yuha of Shlem. So I know people don't like looking at Wikipedia for this stuff, but this is all good a backstory for where you can go and search for other things if you want to look around for them. Because once you have names, and you can go look at names from different places who have different forms of information for it. Similar kind of Christian author Christoph Arnold, Golem of Prague. Golem of Prague is the most famous story. That's what I just said. He made it because they were getting invaded. Is that what it was? The golem still lies in the synagogue's attic. When the attic is renovated in 1883, so the golem was found. Some version of the tale of the golem was stolen. Interesting. And so yeah, that's all there mostly is of the golem on Wikipedia. So let's go a bit deeper. We know what the golems are. The golem of Shlem, the golem of Prague is the one of the greatest stories. So golems in Jewish folklore, right? Don't worry, my thing is Google. It's just Microsoft Edge is showing them. Okay, so golem interpretations of the golem. Well, I want to start here, right? Because this gives us a good indication of where we can look. Arias Kaplan's translation and commentary on the Sefer Yetzirah is a good starting point for the golem, right? That's how we found. Jewish traditions about the golem. We're gonna find something here. Questions about Jewish folklore, specifically golems. Hey y'all. The title suggests. Okay, so let's go. Oh, Dungeons and Dragon. Okay, maybe not. Let's keep going. Maybe I should have read the title. Or just says Jewish, actually. Okay. Anything? Golem occult. Is that gonna be a little better? I got it. I think I know what to do. Occult. Then we search golem. Yes, here we go. Nope. Creation of a golem. I was wondering about golems and how someone could create one. Okay, so I have a link here as a good reference to the Jewish Virtual Library on golems. That's where we could start, I guess. Egyptian and Greek theurgy, the necromantic ritual book includes a ritual for creating a golem. Well, let's see, actually, then, I guess. And this is just talking about AI. No. So I'm going to upload a little bit of Aryan Kaplan's in the future just to go through that. Anyway, the golem. In Jewish tradition, the golem is the most widely known artificial creature created by magic, and often its creator. The word golem appears only once in the Bible. What? Let's see where that is actually. Wait, they're not. Oh, Psalms 139, verse 16. Okay, that works for me. I see. All your eyes saw my unformed body. All the days adorned for me were written in your book before one of them came to be. I see. I should go to a better translation, actually. See if what Kiji is going to say. Interesting translation. Yeah, World English Bible, right? All right. Okay. I mean, they mention it. They don't explicitly say golem, but it's there. That's okay. That's good. And so, what's the Sefer Yetzirah? Because that's what we're going to be looking at. It is the book of creation. It's an earliest extant book on Jewish mysticism, although some of the early commentators treat it as a treatise on mathematical and linguistic theory as opposed to Kabbalah. This here is more literally translated as formation. The word beer is used for creation. And the book mentions a lot of interesting things. The most famous opening here, by 32 mystical paths of wisdom, Yah has engraved all things, who is the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, the living God, the Almighty God. He that is uplifted and exalted, he that dwells forever, and whose name is holy, having created his word by the three derivatives of Hebrew root word sefer, namely sefer, a book, or sephor, a count, or sipher, a story, along with the 10 calibrations, or the 10 spherots of empty space, 22 letters of the Hebrew alphabet, of which there are 3 principal letters, 7 are double sounding consonants, and 12 are ordinary letters. So now, what is the important part of it? Yeah, phonetics, creation. To harmonize the Genesis creation narrative, which is creato ex nihilo, with the doctrine of the primordial elements, the Sefer Yetzirah assumes a double creation, one ideal and the other real. Their name is possibly derived from the fact as numbers express only relations of 2 objects to each other, so the 10 Sephiroth are only abstractions and not realities. Okay. Again, as the numbers from 2 to 10 are derived from the number 1, so the 10 Sephiroth are derived from 1. Their end is fixed in the beginning, and the flame is bound to the coal. Hence, Sephiroth must not be conceived as emanations in the ordinary sense of the word, but rather as modifications of the initial will of God, which first changes to air, then becomes water, then finally fire, and last being no further removed from God than the first. The Sefer Yetzirah shows that the Sephiroth are a creation of God and the will of God in its varied manifestations. Okay. Besides these abstract 10 Sephiroth, which are conceived only ideally, the 22 letters of the alphabet produce the material world, for they are real and are formative powers of all existence and development. By means of these elements, the actual creation of the world took place, and the 10 Sephiroth, which this had only an ideal existence, became realities. Okay. Then this is then a modified form of the Talmudic doctrine that God created heaven and earth by means of letters. I gotta look at that. I guess that's the rules of prayers, particularly the Shema and Amidah blessings for various circumstances. Okay. We're just learning here. So I mean, this is all really cool. The explanation on this point is obscure, since the relation of 22 letters to the 10 Sephiroth is not clearly defined. The first sentence of the book, the 32 paths. The first sentence of the books reads, "The 32 paths, marvels of wisdoms, hath God engraved. These paths being then explained as the 10 Sephiroth and 22 letters, while the Sephiroth are expressly designated as abstracts, it is said of the letters, 22 letters, God drew them, hewed them, combined them, weighed them, interchanged them, through them, produced the whole creation and everything that is destined to come into being. The letters are independent substances, not yet as mere forms. There seems to be connecting, linking between essence and form. Formless essences. What are these like? These are getting really kind of okay, okay. Now we're getting into Gnosticism. Here we go. And so Gnosticism is going to be, I think, an important part of the Golem. Oh, interesting. Are we going to find something like that? Anyways, let's go back here. Okay. Sefer Yetzirah. Right? I think we did this in one of the videos before. But now Golem. Oh, no, that's not what we want. So how about we do this? Here we go. Okay, so now we're working. Could we create a literal golem in the modern day? So she wrote a comment. See, now we're getting somewhere. Now we're getting somewhere. We wanna. Oh no, that's not good. Well, I can do. Let's do top. Let's do posts. She posts in r/history a lot though. That's fine. Okay, well we're gonna look. No, oh my god, there's so much. Oh my gosh, okay. Comments. Well, let's be smart about this. And I'm being stupid though, actually. So why am I? You're absolutely right. You do this, and then you go here, and so now we're gonna get some real information, because ask historians is probably pretty useful. You can also just ask them as well. Interesting. about the mythical golem. He was protecting the insecurities of his own time, and which absolutely it's her. Oh my god, that's crazy. Oh, here we go. Good job, Hannah. Hannah put on a lot of work. Yes, I've been looking forward to this all week. Okay, let's talk about the Golem of Prague and one of my favorite historical characters, Rabbi Udel Rosenberg. Very well known story in Jewish, but it has made inroads into popular culture, science fiction, Terry Pratchett, Gollum. In philosophy and children, the ideal of Gollum, though, as a man made humanoid, is quite actually aiding. The root word dates back to the Bible, meaning unformed, raw, and the concept of human humanoid figure being created backs to the Talmud in 7:4. Adam is described as being formed from dust to earth, and in the Talmud as directly identified with the above citation relating to the Golem. I'm gonna keep reading. You can read as well. Really? So the Sefer Yetzirah is from the same period. Here we go. So I gotta look this up. Well, okay, so she gave us a good standing point where to go. So I think Rabbi Elazar of Worms described in a book how to create both male and female golems using divine names and the Hebrew alphabet. So let's Control V. Oh no, I did not copy. Control C. Control V. Oh yes, here we go. Okay, so someone wrote a book, and here we go. Emol.org Kabbalah Golem Techniques. To know exactly how to form a golem, one must understand how the original golem producers learned their techniques. Their methods are based on several techniques common among all Jewish mysticism instructions throughout history. In Kabbalah secret circles, one method uses a Kabbalah wheel to spin 231 gates needed to produce a golem. This easy to homemade device is more convenient than memorizing 238 combinations of letters. Okay, so we'll test these out. So this is a way to make it. There are three popular techniques during the medieval Ashkenazi Hasidic period. Right? These steps derive from more ancient sources. To create a golem, you recite the combinations that begin with the first 11 letters of the Hebrew alphabet. To undo this active creation, render golem lifeless, you have to recite the letter combination beginning with the second half of the Hebrew alphabet. Interesting. I need to learn the Hebrew alphabet. Spread dust in which the three letters spelling Adam, use Hebrew letters, the word man are written, followed by the recitation of letters. A golem emerges from unformed Hebrew dust, and probably much earlier medieval times. When three letters AMT are written on a forehead, the golem appears. When the first letter is erased, leaving the word met, He is dead. The golem becomes lifeless. Oh, there's a lot more. Yes, here we go. Okay, let's see what this is. Rabbi Abraham Ibn Ezra, author of commentary in SY, is now lost, and Sefer HaHayim, Book of Life, attributed to R. Ezra, the Golem is connected to the influence of planets. The circle of the spherical cherubim engaged in long discussions about creating Golem. They also used the combination of the Hebrew letters recited the letters along with moving in a circle around the molded dust, and destroy the golem by reciting the original combination of letters backwards and going in the opposite direction. Gershom Shalom found in medieval MS a version of a creation of a human by Enoch when his contemporaries pushed him to demonstrate the way of creation manned by God. He collected dust, kneaded it, he breathed in the spirit of life. He told them, "How is it possible to do such a thing? Sit it by the deed of your hands in its form and structure as he did." And they compelled him so that he took and dust, kneaded it, and made it into the likeness of man in his image. Afterward, he breathed into it life in order to show the deed of the Holy One, blessed be he. Then Satan came to show himself in the deed, and the statue turned alive, and a demon entered it, and all generation yeared because of it, and they made it an object of idolatrous worship. The idolatry began to be designated by the name of God, and since then all those who sinned because of it make statues of the image of man. Oh, here we go. Rabbi Elazar, let's see what he got. Had two distinct steps in the creation process. Combination of alphabets, the combination of the letters of divine name. There may also be a third step to combine the alphabets and the combination of the divine name. Vitality in the soul. Okay, so we have a basis where to start. Now we're gonna look more into Rabbi Elazar for the golem and understanding the golem and what it means and mysticism and all of that stuff. But this is good. There are lots of different things we have, but it's all the Hebrew alphabet. So now it's a matter of learning the Hebrew alphabet, understanding the rituals, and we're gonna move on from there. But I think this has been a very informative understanding of the golem and how it's created in Jewish folklore. Oh, let's finish off what Hannah said actually, and then we can call it a video. The first full-fledged legend is not from Prague at all. It's from Shlem, a town in Poland. See, so Elijah Abal Shem, a term meaning master of the name, was a title used for mystical rabbis. So I guess we gotta look for a name of God as well. That's a big thing here. Now we're gonna have to investigate the Tetragrammaton and all that stuff. I think this is a lot. Oh, there's a part two. Okay, well I think we can pick up on this. This is Golem's part one, and we'll pick up next episode. So thank you all for coming. Like, comment, subscribe.